Prepare IAS coaching. It is one of the best coaching institutes for IAS and PCS preparation in Lucknow. This is the address and this is the contact number. You can contact them for further guidance. So, hello everyone. In this video, we will do the daily current affairs analysis of the news items of 1st October 2021. So, what are the topics which we will discuss? First is that OCI candidates have been allowed to appear in NEET undergraduate 2021 under the general category. So, we will discuss about this. Next is the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. We will see what it is, what are the provisions under this act, and who all are the entities which are covered under this. We'll see. So next is the NASA's Lucy mission. We will understand the significance and the importance of this mission. What are the findings in this mission? We will see. Next is the right to seek bail is implicit in the constitution. This has been said by the Supreme Court. So we'll see that what are the implications of this statement and this noting by the Honorable Supreme Court. We'll try to analyze that. Next is the extension of CPEC to Afghanistan. Okay, China-Pakistan Economic Corridors extension has been proposed to Afghanistan. We will see that. Next is the International Day of Older Persons. What it is, we will see. Next is launch of Digi Saksham. So first is the OCI candidates can appear in NEET UG 2021 in general category. It is for GS paper 2. Topic is education. So why it is in news? The Supreme Court has permitted overseas citizens of India candidates to participate in the NEET UG 2021 counseling in the general category. The court clarified that the order allowing the OCIs to compete in the general category was confined to the 2021-2022 academic year alone. Background: Ministry of Home Affairs had directed OCI candidates to be treated on par with non-resident Indians (NRIs) for the purpose of NEET. This would have meant that successful OCI candidates would have to pay the higher fee paid by NRIs for medical seats in India. What is the difference between the NRIs and the OCI? So NRI is given to provide a residential status to a citizen of India with an Indian passport who resides in a foreign country for the purpose of work or business or education. OCI is an immigration status which is provided to a foreign citizen of Indian origin as an alternative for dual citizenship, which is not allowed by the Indian Constitution. So prelims hotline topics are about the overseas citizens of India and OCI versus NRI. You have to study that also. The source is The Hindu. Next is the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, FCRA. It is for GS paper 3. Topic is money laundering related issues. So why it is in news? The Ministry of Home Affairs (MHA) has extended the deadline till December 31 for NGOs to apply for renewal of their Foreign Contribution Regulation Act (FCRA) registration certificates. The registration is mandatory for associations and NGOs to receive foreign funds. So what is Foreign Contribution Regulation Act (FCRA)? Foreign funding of persons in India is regulated under the FCRA Act and is implemented by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The Act ensures that the recipients of foreign contributions adhere to the stated purpose for which such contribution has been obtained. Under the Act, organizations are required to register, renew themselves every 5 years. Registered NGOs can receive foreign contributions for five purposes: social, educational, religious, economic, and cultural. Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Act 2020. Prohibition to accept foreign contributions. The Act bars public servants from receiving foreign contributions. Transfer of foreign contribution. The Act prohibits the transfer of foreign contribution to any other person not registered to accept foreign contributions. Aadhaar for registration. The Act makes Aadhaar number mandatory for all office bearers, directors, or key functionaries of a person receiving foreign contribution as an identification document. FCRA account. Foreign contribution must be received only in an account designated by the bank as FCRA account in such branches of the State Bank of India, New Delhi. reduction in use of foreign contribution for administrative purposes. Not more than 20% of the total foreign funds received could be defrayed for administrative expenses. In FCRA 2010, the limit was 50%, which was quite high. Surrender of certificate. The act allows the central government to permit a person to surrender their registration certificate. So prelim shortling topics are about the FCRA and also about the FCRA Amendment Act. So source of this news is the Indian Express. Next is about NASA's Lucy mission. It is for important for GS paper 3. Topic is awareness related to space. So why it is in news? NASA is poised to send its first spacecraft to study Jupiter's Trojan asteroids to glean new insights into the solar system's formation 4.5 billion years ago. The Jupiter Trojans, commonly called Trojan asteroids or simply Trojans, are a large group of asteroids that share the planet Jupiter's orbit around the Sun. Key features: the probe, called Lucy after an ancient fossil that provided insights into the evolution of human species, will launch on October 16 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Mission: to investigate the group of rocky bodies circling the Sun in two storms, one preceding Jupiter in its orbital path and the other trailing behind it. After receiving boosts from Earth's gravity, Lucy will embark on a 12-year journey to 8 different asteroids, one in the main belt between Mars and Jupiter, and then 7 Trojans. Trojans are present in a very small region of space and are very physically different from one another. The differences indicate how far away from the Sun they might have formed before assuming their present trajectory. Trojan asteroids number more than 7,000 in total. It will be the first solar-powered spaceship to venture this far from the Sun and will observe more asteroids than any other spacecraft before it. So prelim shortling topics are about the Lucy mission and other missions of NASA and ISRO. The source of this news is the Indian Express. Next is right to seek bail implicit in Constitution as noted by the Honorable Supreme Court. So it is important for GS paper 2. Topic is rights and duties of the citizens. So by news, the Honorable Supreme Court has held that the right to apply for bail is an individual right implicit in the Constitution. The right of an accused, an under trial prisoner, or a convicted person awaiting appeal court's verdict to seek bail on suspension of sentence is recognized in sections 439, 438, and 389 of the Code of Criminal Procedure (CRPC). So if there is a blanket ban on listing of these obligations, even for offences with lesser degree of punishment, it would effectively block access for seekers of liberty to apply for bail and suspend the fundamental rights of individuals in or apprehending detention. Such an order also has the effect of temporarily eclipsing statutory provisions. So background of this news is a single judge of the Rajasthan High Court had in March passed an order to not to list bails, appeals, applications for suspension of sentence in appeals and revisions in the category of extreme urgent matters. Prelim short links, powers of Supreme Court and the powers of High Courts. The source of this news is The Hindu. Next is extension of CPEC to Afghanistan. It is important for GS paper 2. Topic is international relations. So why it is in news? Recently, Pakistan has discussed Taliban-led Afghanistan joining the multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC) infrastructure project. China has proposed construction of the Peshawar-Kabul motorway as an extension of CPEC in Afghanistan. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The CPEC is a bilateral project between Pakistan and China. It is intended to promote connectivity across Pakistan with a network of highways, railways, and pipelines, accompanied by energy, industrial, and other infrastructure development projects. It aims to link the western part of China, Xinjiang province, to the Gwadar port in Balochistan, Pakistan, via Khunzarab via Khunze Rab Pass in the northern parts of Pakistan. It will pave the way for China to access the Middle East and Africa from Gwadar Port, enabling China to access the Indian Ocean. CPEC is part of the Belt and Road Initiative. The BRI, launched in 2013, aims to link Southeast Asia, Central Asia, the Gulf region, Africa, and Europe with a network of land and sea routes. India has been severely critical of the CPEC as it passes through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is a disputed territory between India and Pakistan. So the border countries of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India you have to study in detail. So these are the prelims hot links important topics about the CPEC and also the bordering countries of India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. You have to study in detail. The source of this news is the Indian Express. So next is the International Day of Older Persons. It is a prelims specific topic, and International Day of Older Persons is celebrated on 1st October and by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment to dedicate the elderly line 14567 to the nation. Launch the Senior Able Citizens Re-employment in Dignity Sacred Portal. Launch the Senior Care Aging Growth Engine Sage Portal. About the Senior Able Citizen Re-employment in Dignity Sacred Portal. It is an IT portal to be developed to bring the employment seeker, senior citizens, and employment providers on one platform. The aim is to devise ways to ensure senior citizens live healthy, happy, empowered, dignified, and self-reliant life. About the Senior Care Aging Growth Engine Sage Portal, aimed at promoting private enterprises to bring out innovation in products to benefit elders, shaped on the recommendations of the Empowered Expert Committee EEC report on startups for the elderly, SAGE to select, support, and create a one access of elderly care products and services. Launch of Digi Saksham, prelim specific topic. So Digi Saksham is a digital skills program to enhance the employability of youth by imparting digital skills that are required in an increasingly technology-driven era. This joint initiative with Microsoft India is an extension of the government's ongoing programs to support the youth from rural and semi-urban areas. Through Digi Saksham initiative, free of cost training in digital skills, including basic skills as well as advanced computing, will be provided to more than 3 lakh youths in the first year. There will be basically three types of training: vis-a-vis, digital skills, self-paced learning, VILT mode training, virtual instructor-led, and IIT mode training, instructor-led training. So thank you so much for watching the analysis video. Have a nice day.